Well, g'day, it's Jono Brake here from The Forge Leader with another round of Monday Myth Check. And this week we're going to go back to some coaching themes here. And one of the things I hear a lot from leaders that I coach, that I'm also training to coach as well, because I believe coaching is a great discipline, but I hear them say, well, how do I know what questions to ask? And how do I know I'm asking the right questions? And what often happens is, as a result of that, they can stall out. They basically don't go into the coaching journey because I don't know how to ask good questions. I don't know which questions to ask next. Now, there's a couple of things going on here, okay? At the end of the day, yes, there is an element that we need to learn to ask better questions, so that's on us. But at the end of the day, don't wait for the perfect question or the ability to ask perfect questions or even the knowledge that I think I can to coach, okay? Coaching is one of the best natural leadership disciplines that you can learn. It's that ability to come alongside the person that you're working with. Let's call them the client, but it could be a team member, it could be your boss, it could be a client, but we'll call them the client, like a customer, I should say. So we'll call them the client. All right, so it's your ability to come alongside the client and kind of be their thinking partner, right? Not tell them what to do, that's consulting and advising. Now, there's nothing wrong with those modalities in the right framework, but you're coming alongside them, you're asking them questions, you're helping them unpack a journey that they need to go on, that maybe you don't need to go on with them, but you're just there to be that thinking partner. I really love this idea of the thinking partner. I think in a world where we've got so many challenges coming at us, the human mind is an amazing place. And so if we don't do these things, then we don't train our team how to think. We don't train our teams to own the situations that they're in. We're just the next person that they come to because I've got a problem. I have so many leaders that talk to me and say, look, my team just keep coming back to me with elementary problems, elementary issues. My response is, well, do you solve it for them? And invariably their answer is yes. And that's part of the problem, right? Because they're just solving it. They're not becoming the thinking partner. They're just becoming the next advisor. Of course, if I know somebody else has the answers, then it's naturally inclined for me to go to those people and say, hey, give me that answer again, okay? I don't have to learn it because you have the answers or I have the answers. So by just answering the question and by just giving advice, we create a whole bunch of people that don't have to think for themselves. Now, we've got a whole world that doesn't think for themselves right now. And so it's really important that if you are a good leader, that you learn coaching techniques. And it's just simply, what's the next great question to ask? What's something I could ask today that could help people unpack? Now, those questions don't have to be complicated, and that's where we come back to the myth that I need to know the right questions to ask. They don't have to be complicated. Very common questions I ask in a coaching journey, when we're helping someone identify an issue, drill it down, and then work out, okay, what's the gap between where they're really at and what they want to solve? When we're doing that chunking down kind of phase, one of the most simple questions I often ask is, well, what else? Okay, so when you feel like you haven't unpacked the whole journey, well, what else is there? Now, some of the trick here is to learn to be quiet. Okay, so when I ask what else, I'm not padding that question. I'm not qualifying the question. I'm just saying what else. So what else is there? And there might be a point in time where you say, okay, we're not going to solve this now. There isn't anything else to talk about. And so that's okay, right? So the idea is that you don't have to have the right questions. Sometimes the simple questions, what's working, what's not working, what do we need to work on, what do we need to innovate, or where do we need to innovate? How do I ask better questions even? What is a great question that you would want to hear from me to help you take the next step forward? It's okay to come up with those kinds of questions. There are lots of questions you can look up. You can go on to any AI tool and just say, hey, give me some great questions to help me work with someone to unpack this scenario. And it'll give you some good stuff. Don't just run through them as if it's just a rotation. Use the questions that make sense to you. But at the end of the day, as a leader, as a coach, the simplest way to look at this is just become their thinking partner. Simple, short questions. You do not have to have all the questions lined up. You do not have to be a great question asker, come up with really complicated questions to be a good coach. The bottom line is just ask questions, let people unpack. So that's where we're at today. You don't have to know all the questions. You don't have to know all the complicated questions to become someone's thinking partner, to be their coach. That's Monday Myth Check for this week. I'm Jono Brake. As always, enjoy the journey.